Hello, I'm Jasmine and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is obviously the many takes I've taken of this. I didn't realize how hard it was to talk on the camera, but it is actually bloody hard. So I thought I would just come here and talk about who I am, why you should listen to me. If you've ever been through relationships that have failed, well, I've been through the fucking brunt of it. I call it the 7 years of hell. But I'll start off from how I started off. When I was a kid, basically, I was shy. I used to hide in cupboards. I used to get my mum to answer the phone for me because I was that scared to communicate. I used to be so jealous of my friend that she would get all the guys. And I'd always be jealous. I'd be like, I really wish that I could have a boyfriend. And I really wish that hope one day that when I get a boyfriend, they won't leave me for my best friend. That was my belief as a kid. I don't know why I had such low self-worth at the time, but that was me. I don't know how. And my first relationship made my biggest fear as a kid come true. My first relationship, I wasn't in love with him, didn't know what love was, but he did end up going for my best friend. My best friend was a good cunt at the time. She was like, nah, I'm not interested. So it was kind of good. But I still must have had that self-doubt that I'm not good enough, because my second relationship, I dated him for 2 years. And it was 2 years of him cheating on me, him lying, talking to other girls behind my back, gaslighting me, being aggressive. He would bring girls to my sister's house, his ex to my sister's house. He brought a girl down from New Plymouth, slept with her during the night, and would message me during the day. There's a lot of shit that I saw in that relationship when I was 16, 17 that you wouldn't expect someone at that age to see. But I saw it. And it was hard. It was traumatizing. I felt like the little kid in me was screaming because I just felt so heartbroken. And that was basically my first love that did that to me. But I got to a point where I was like emotionally not there, and I checked out. Eventually I got out, but that mindset still traveled to me in the next relationship. I honestly didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think I was skinny enough. I thought I was too fat. And I self-sabotaged that relationship. And then I started being like, fuck it. I'm going to put all my energy into losing weight. So within 3 months, I dropped the weight. But I did it incorrectly, and I wouldn't ask for any advice of how I did it. I ate 1 egg a day and just drank coffee. I dropped the weight within 3 months, lost about 20 kgs, and I developed an eating disorder that I also overcame within a year. And I did everything that I could to get over it. I'm very disciplined. If I have a problem, I'm very committed to trying to achieve it and get over it. Through my relationships, it's kind of shown me that I can trust myself. And over time, I developed more resilience, knowing how much I didn't deserve to be treated that way. My next relationship showed me who I wanted in a person. At the time, I dated this guy, and he was into that, I don't know what they're called, board games or some shit like that. I think it was like Dungeons and Dragons. And that was cool. That was his hobby. But for me, I was very active and I wanted to get out and do things, and he just wanted to play that game. So we were quite opposite. And he wanted someone that was quite ambitious, and at the time I worked at the bar, so I had no ambition to start a career or anything like that. So we didn't align. So we broke up. And then I started dating the last one, well, not the last one because I'm dating someone now, the second to last one. That totally destroyed me. And he was a narcissist, and I actually was in love with him. And I thought they would get married one day. Boy, was I wrong. You know, he was cheating on me the whole time, and I didn't know it. The whole relationship, I just saw him as like this guy that I was going to marry, and that I was the one that was going crazy because I thought he was cheating on me. I just had no proof. Like, he would hide his story from me and my family, and I just didn't understand it. He would hide his phone from me. He'd archive his messages. He would go out late till 4 o'clock in the morning, and he would smoke weed till 4 o'clock in the morning, and just all these things. And the red flags were there, but I believed his story. And he told me when he was doing his building apprenticeship that he would work part-time at the bar to pay off his tools, when actually he was out fucking the bartenders. And I found that out 2 years later from the girl he left me for in Queenstown. So if you don't know the story, it's on TikTok. I posted the whole story on TikTok. I don't really feel like going through it again because it's a very long story. But basically, the relationship, it made me numb. It broke me. But it made me into the person I am today. I don't take shit. You know, I got into the point where, you know, if I was to break up with my current partner, I'd be okay. Because I know that for any challenge I've gone through, I've managed to pull myself out of it. And I want to help people be able to do the same thing. How I did it? Discipline. Discipline, routine, and just staying committed to it. Whenever I would have a thought of the person that I broke up with, I'd change the thought. I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to the places that remind me of you. I'm not listening to the songs that remind me of you. And I am definitely not going to actively try and think about you. The only time I'd actively think about you was when I was trying to understand the relationship and who you are and how try to find clarity for myself. And that is what I was trying to do. I was trying to paint the person that I love in a negative light and write down all the cons in the relationship and things I did wrong as well, and break it down so that I can look at the things that he did wrong and see the relationship and see him in a different perspective. That's what I did. I didn't go on to, oh, I love him. And I did actually do that. Sorry, I did do that. And it was a whole phase of me being like, I love him, I hate him, I don't know what type of person it is. It was a war. I felt like I was having a mental war, but I would constantly try and focus on the toxic side of him, like, and trying to convince my brain, the brain that was in love with him, that he is actually a toxic, narcissistic prick. And that was hard. It was an on and off war. My brain was just like, no, he was like this. He's the love of your life. Who he was at the start is who he is. He just made a mistake. And my logical side of my brain was just like, no, bitch, listen. Listen here. Listen well. Get this through your thick skull. He's a narcissistic prick who did that on purpose. And he planned it. Oh God. So it was a mental war, but I eventually got to the point, I think about 4 months later, where I trained that part of my brain into thinking, yes, he's a narcissistic prick and we don't love him. We don't like him. So it took a bit of time, but we got there. And that's what it is. It's like your mind is going to fight you. It's going to be like, throw happy memories, because that's what it remembers. It doesn't like this change, so it's going to show you happy memories so that you can go back to that person. It's not a good idea. So you need to focus on what happened in that relationship, what was real in that relationship that happened, that made you feel like you were unworthy, that you were unappreciated. What were the things that they were doing that made you skeptical that they were cheating on you or hurting you or being unfaithful? Like, did they gaslight you? Did they not listen to you? Did they not respect your opinion? You need to list these things down. And you need to write them down. So each time you have a thought in your brain that's just like, I love and I miss them, you need to be like, here's the fucking list, bitch. And we're going to go through it together. It's a process, and you're not going to get it in 1 day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks. It's going to take months. And you have to continuously do it. And you have to be disciplined. So that's your mindset. You need to change your mindset. That's one of the things you need to work on. You also need to distract yourself and getting out there and being physical by going out running. You need to go out walking. You need to go to the gym, do something, a physical hobby. I don't care what it is, volleyball, golf. whatever makes you feel at peace, do it well, do it often, because that's your happy space, that's your escape, and you need an escape. Now when you get home, that is where shit starts happening. That's when you start to ruminate. That's when your brain starts to get active. I used to go on night walks. I used to listen to music. I used to blast music. I used to go for night drives. I used to watch YouTube videos. I used to watch about mindset shifts. I used to watch about narcissists. I used to educate myself on how to better myself so that I don't have to go through that type of relationship war again. So I would constantly research how to better myself, how to get over a breakup, mindset shifts, all this type of stuff to help better myself to get over this boy, because that was my challenge, because I had 3 weeks after that breakup until I started my new job. So I needed to cut the shit and tackle this breakup head on. And that's what I did. And within a week to 2 weeks, I was ready going into my new job, and I was focused on my new job. I set a goal for myself. I want to be able to ride a motorbike as a hobby. I applied for my basic handling, passed my basic handling test, got my learner's license, and then I got my motorbike, and then I was off riding away. And that was my other focus. Fuck, it was like an adrenaline rush. I loved it because I had motorbike gear left over from the past relationship, and I had a choice. I was like, I can either use it or sell it. I chose to use it. And by doing that, it was my way of escaping. I started like I was creating a new person. My body just responded to me. I wasn't thinking about losing weight. My body was just doing it. I wasn't constantly thinking about eating because I was constantly doing other things. I was having other things. I was prioritizing my job, motorbike, and my running and walking. I'd find places that I'd want to walk. I had an itch that I wanted to go out and explore. So what did I do? Booked a trip on a ferry, and then went down on the ferry and just had a day to myself exploring Picton. Just by myself. I rented a hotel, had the day to just explore Picton, do all the walks, just do it by myself. And it was my way of just listening to music and escaping. I would go out to town and I would meet new people. And I made a fact. I was like, well, I've already hit rock bottom. What else do I have to lose? By meeting new people, by putting myself out there. So I met girls, and at the time I didn't have my friends because they were in relationships. So I was like, fine, I'll make new single friends. By doing that, that's how I met my partner, because that one girl that I met in town and I decided to be friends with, that's how I met my current partner. We went out to town together, and then one night my partner came up from Christchurch on a boys' trip. I said, hey, you're cute. And then we hiked up to Mount Vic, got Macca's, and then he messaged me the next day, and the rest was history. So just shit like that happens. And when you start focusing on yourself and you bettering yourself, like I had confidence. I felt myself. I had no fear, because I was like, you've already been put through the ringer of 7 years through hell. What else are you going to give me? Like, having a conversation with someone, that doesn't scare me. I want to meet new people, and I want to inspire them to like be better and know their self-worth, because no one deserves to go through any breakup or be cheated on, like Jesus, or be hurt that way. And I think most of the time people get hurt that way because they don't value themselves. They have low self-worth and they think that's what they deserve, but no one deserves that. And I learned that some people don't love the same way that you love them. I didn't understand why I could care about someone and someone could completely not care about me. Say they love me and then completely not. Like, that was really something that I struggled to understand. But with time, I started to realize that not everyone is the same as me. Everyone is different. Everyone has their own past traumas. And it doesn't make them a bad person. I mean, the way they treat people, yes, does come across as bad if they treat someone and cheat on them. But that's them. You don't have to have them in your life for doing that. For me, I'm like, if anyone is of that caliber where they're going to treat people with such disrespect, then I don't want to know them. And neither should you. Now, this video's gone on for a long time. I could talk about this all the time. So I'm going to cut it there. I really hope this is the last video and I don't have to redo it, because this has obviously taken a while. So please, if you like the video, like, subscribe, comment if you have your stories, if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them. But yeah, this is my first video and more to come, hopefully. Thank you for watching.